Working with a public relations expert or agency is a great way for your business to increase not just exposure but also engage its targets. Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen Ipalibo-Lawson and this is Business Matters, where business truly matters. Business matters. Let's talk business. Building a strong public image for your brand and achieving your organizational goal is hinged on the effectiveness of your relationship with your public relations agencies. Let us take our business update. Business matters. Public relations experts offer their advice on how to work effectively and efficiently for the success and profitability of the organization. Welcome to our professional segment. Thank you for keeping tuned with us on Business Matters, and this is the professional segment where we bring in an expert who is going to help us understand the topic of discussion. And the topic of discussion today is driving profitability by leveraging public relations. And joining me in the studio is no other person than the chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. He's also the chief reputation strategist of Opticom Marketing Company, and that is no other person than Mr. Olusegun McMedal. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Stevie.
Well, this is Business Matters, and we are all excited about the world of business, and business truly matters here. And a lot of people have wondered where exactly is the link of public relations in this whole value chain and the value world of business. But first and foremost, what is public relations? Is public relations marketing? Is public relations advertising? Is public relations sales? What exactly is public relations?
Oh, good question. So the idea is, the question public relations, is it marketing or not? Let's start from what it is and what it is not. Public relations is an offshoot of the marketing, who is the father. All right. So also is advertising, direct marketing, and the like. They are all marketing functions. However, this now battered some specialties. You have advertising, the public relations, direct marketing, and the rest. So public relations, by definition, is planning deliberately to engage with your stakeholders in order to get their goodwill, and of course to have their consent, their support for what you do from time to time. Whereas advertising, by simple definition, is making known in order to sell. So most of the activities of a PR practice, they are usually free. So they are intangible, but yet they score a very good score when it comes to affecting how people relate or react to brands and your offerings. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that, by simple definition, that's what PR is. It is an offshoot of marketing.
Okay, but people have understood that PR has to do with brand envelope, or PR is synonymous with brand envelope. Why is that not a misconception of what exactly public relations is about?
The issue of brand envelope, you will see, I can say that it's actually synonymous to the Nigerian clime. All right, where people, practitioners appreciate, or the media personnel wants the practitioner to appreciate what the value they are bringing. All right, but in other clime, the issue of brand envelope is existed. So brand envelope is not PR.
Absolutely.
It's not
Okay.
PR. While it is given in order to kind of oil the relationship, if you call it appreciation envelope, you
That
will
is
be
a
far.
better,
It's
far from the
better
truth.
for you to
Okay.
call it, PR. You are not doing PR because PR is a whole lot of activities. All right. So it's okay to appreciate somebody for the value that he is bringing to the table, but for you now to now kind of, quote and unquote, demonize the profession, give it an an unpalatable name. We find it derogatory, to
Okay,
say the least.
that's important because I mean you are a chairman of the institute, the state chapter chairman of the institute. It's important for people to understand that PR is not brand envelope. PR, as a matter of fact, is a professional interest
Yeah.
that is a lot that deals so much with strategy.
Yeah,
Because people wonder if why will I need a public relations person if I can do whatever it is I can do? What is the strategic input of a public relations offering as against if I know advertisement has itself, I can see the cash going as the case might be. So why would I even want to be bothered with PR? Because I don't think it has any strategy attached to it.
Okay, very interesting question. And for emphasis, I would like for you to read The Origin of Brands, by Rees. It says a lot, some things about, how the role of PR, before advertising. For instance, I'll give you a very simple analogy. For instance, you want to sell, or you are a manufacturer and you have a product that you want to make known to the population.
Which, as a matter of fact, most of our audience, as a matter of fact, they form that particular
business community.
business community,
Okay,
entrepreneurs,
fine.
because they're
Okay.
wondering why will I need public relations for my business?
Okay, fine. So now this product, to your targeted audience, they don't know about it. All right? Now, it would be wrong for you to start marketing this product through advertising.
Okay.
So the global best practice is for you to launch it through PR efforts. First of all, they need to know about it.
But somebody will argue that advertising actually does
See,
that as well.
when you look at a typical advertising copy, it's short and straight and all that. Okay, let me give you an instance. When you are buying, let us say, a particular drug that has a package, in the package, you will see loads of information on it.
Absolutely.
Inside, you also have that information.
Yes.
And that's PR.
Okay.
That's PR. You understand? When you buy your phone, it comes with a manual. That is to show you, to educate you on how best to get value for your purchase. Now, advertising can't do that. Do you understand? Advertising, they have to catch your attention. Everything is short, brief. But in PR, we take time to educate, to inform, and of course to buy you over that this is why this thing is actually good for you. Then you can now start the advertising campaign after you have launched your product through the PR effort. That is why all over the world, before you see advertising, there is usually a product launch.
Yes,
Product launch is
Product launch
advertising.
yes.
It's public
PR.
relations.
Okay.
Product launch is PR. So you will now see the stakeholders, some of the target audience present, that now they will now kind of drive value, why this thing is important. Then maybe the next day or two, you are a media personnel, and of course you are one of us, you will know that this is how these things work.
There's a progression.
Firstly, the PR campaign breaks, then advertising. Now, the role of advertising is repetition.
Okay.
Is repetition. That's why for a press release, that, for instance, for this particular product, that I have educated you on this particular product in, say, one of our press releases in any of the media forms that we are using. Now, for advertising, everything is condensed such that there is a there is a tagline, so to speak, so that people will get to know that this thing is there. There was a time when a particular telco, claimed to have a national reach. Their tagline then was everywhere you go.
That's true. Now, one of the things we always are concerned is the factor of costs. And small businesses, mid-sized businesses, we always want to make sure the brand get out there in the market. Do you think is something that is out of reach for most of these, businesses that still want to identify with quality, want to identify with standard, to actually subscribe to public relations services?
Okay, the truth is, I haven't been an entrepreneur myself.
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, So I can say this, that public relations, like I said before, is most of the services, most of the things that we do are actually free. Some of the things that we do are just free. We leverage on people, we leverage on events and all of that. So for a small business owner or medium size who wants to, adopt PR element for their marketing function, see, everything is scalable. If you are a small size, you should have a little budget for that function.
No matter how small.
But public relations is not actually expensive. And I give you one instance. For instance, an entrepreneur who is starting out, who is unknown, but is coming up with a very innovative product into the market. Now, he doesn't have the money to launch, to do a mega launch and all of that. If this person, if he is vast in the use of social media,
okay,
he can leverage social media to blow. Or he can actually, for the traditional media, I'm talking about print now, if, for instance, he can get his hand on any national newspaper, for instance, there is a section that is marketing and brands.
Yes.
Or something like that,
That's
depending on the paper.
publication.
So now get the contact of one of the reporters. Some of these pages are dedicated pages. They don't come out every day like the normal news. So you can get the contact of the reporter and engage. Okay, I have this, and you'll be surprised what it can do for you. Of course, they can also approach a PR agency. Yeah, they can actually
media relations.
Yeah,
with a lot of these
yes.
people
They
who
can
write
actually
stories,
approach a PR agency or a PR professional who can be of help. You understand? So they are not going to spend, all that they have to get for people to know them. I mean, in PR wise, you understand? So it's not expensive at all.
Okay, so as a matter of fact, for any small business owner out there, you understand that public relations is not as expensive as you must have perhaps have feared. It's actually very affordable. Yeah. And people also look at it within the context of communication strategy. And the social media of these days seems to have, given a whole open doors and all of that. And do you think that most businesses are actually leveraging on that social media platform, PR-wise or whatever wise, in order to help to, drive towards making their bottom line in the positive?
Okay, the truth in Lagos and other cities the truth is that people are actually leveraging the social media. An average lady who has a boutique, she has a list of her clients, her clientele on her phone, and she engages with WhatsApp. That's free, right?
That's free.
What it will cost you is just data.
The data, yes.
So now in social media, what you need is contact. You understand? You have a number of people that you want to reach. Engage. Social media. That's why it's very, very good that you have the basic ones are the Facebook, the Instagram, and Twitter is not very popular among entrepreneurs.
No,
it's not very, very popular. But anything that is pictorial, they love it. But some of them are naturally not using it to promote their businesses. Some of them are using it to promote their Ashwebi, and the likes. So if the idea is for them to drive profitability, they should try to change their recalibrate their goal and use it to market their business instead of marketing their social life. Now, number two, also the issue of whether to use the normal media to promote their business as well. Like I said before, just get a contact of one reporter, one agency, contact them, and they are ready. So the opportunity is actually there. The problem may be that you are not seeing it, or you are not asking the right questions. I would recommend that any entrepreneur who is forward-looking should get periodic, retraining, education. Education is key for an entrepreneur, because all that you know is all that you know. All that you know is not all that there is to know. It's key.
Okay, because one of the things that oftentimes comes to mind when we deal with the issue of public relations, we deal with the issue of brand, we deal with the issue of marketing communications, the whole stretch, is the returns on investment. And people have actually wondered if public relations actually can be measured in terms of its return on investment. What is your take on that?
Okay, it's not easy, or it has not been easy, really. One of the greatest challenge against PR has been the fact that some people feels that you cannot determine the return on investment. Until last 10 years or so, the normal way we measure has been what we call AVE, advertising value equivalency.
Okay.
For instance, in the newspaper, you get a cut and you determine the space allotted to your story. You will now prorate and say, okay, if I was doing this as advertising, this would have been the cost. That was the practice before. You understand? But we now found that this is unscientific, because one, especially in this part of the world where most of us don't even know the average print run of the media, of media organization. We don't know, especially in the print. So we cannot determine that, okay, this information has reached a certain number of people. So it's very tough to determine.
So social media obviously has. Would you say social media has come to bridge that gap?
That one is pretty straightforward. You can even you can monitor the reach, the impact, and all of that. But even in PR, as in the larger picture now, we have a standardized measuring and evaluation metrics. Now we measure output, we measure input, we measure outtakes, we measure impact. So these are the things that before the AVE kind of arrangement couldn't take care of, couldn't measure. You understand? So it's pretty much easy for us now, to measure the return on investment using public relations vehicle.
Oh, fantastic. A lot of people have sometimes said that if a business has to be profitable, then the business has to be long-term. The mentality a lot of times is emerging entrepreneurs is that the moment I get into the market, I want to be able to start declaring profit within a short period of time. And that oftentimes does not meet with what reality actually, informs them on. And then people often say that, is this part of the reasons why we need public relations? Because public relations obviously is not a short-term measure. It's something that actually has to look at the big picture on a far-reaching projection. Yeah.
True.
Would you agree with that?
True. But before I delve into this question, in my research, I found that an average entrepreneur did not really set out to be an entrepreneur. Some of them, they lost their job, and all of a sudden, they just want to do something. So the long-term planning is missing from the start. So what they want is survival.
Survival mode.
They want to get returns as fast as possible. So that is what you see in most of the small businesses. Whereas a public relations function is for you to plan long term. One, you are new. For instance, Stephen, okay, I don't know Stephen from anywhere, and I want to know Stephen. You cannot approach me now because I'm just meeting you for the first time for you to want to pitch anything to me. I probably will look at you, with some reservation. I may not voice it, but it happens that you have become a brand, so to speak, and somebody, maybe say a colleague says, Stephen wants to see you. I'm like, which Stephen? I say, oh no, Stephen, let him. Whatever you want to pitch, I am likely going to listen to you. Absolutely. So because of the things that you have done, you have built goodwill. You have a reputation. So that when I'm meeting you, even not I alone, if other people are meeting you, they know that it's Stephen. So they have expectation of what a Stephen is.
A reputation built over time.
Over time. Okay. So that is the function of PR and other marketing tools. So do you want to buy something that you don't know of?
Not at all.
Until they. So that is the thing about you trying that you should plan long term. And like we said before, the goodwill that you are going to build. Some people based on the fact that they know you, they can advance you loans without collateral. Based on the goodwill that you have, which you have built through public relations efforts. So this is what you need to do to know, okay, when you are starting out, the bottom line is you need to really plan your strategy long term. For the first year, this is what you will do. The second year, another. The 5-year, the long, medium, and long-term goals should be in place so that you will work upon these things. And of course, with the help of professionals, they are ready to guide you along. And then for every PR practice, PR to engage a professional is actually not an expensive project. I tell you that.
All right, I want to say a big thank you. You'll be amazed how time flies on Business Matters, and it's amazing knowing the fact that public relations, if you want to be profitable and you are a visionary as an entrepreneur, you certainly need public relations.
You need one. You need one.
Thank you so very much, Mr. McMedal.
Thank you, Stephen.
Well, viewers, this is how much we can take on Business Matters on this professional segment. Remember, public relations is about strategy. It's about profitability. It's about goodwill. It's about the long term. It's also about quality. And so if you want to build a brand, you can be rest assured that the public relations function will help you achieve that. Please stay tuned as we bring other segments before we wrap up for the day. Bye-bye. Public relations is highly essential and beneficial to business growth and should be a cornerstone of your company's marketing strategy. That wraps up this week's edition of Business Matters. Till I come your way next week, do reach us on our several social media platforms. I'm Stephen Ipalebo Lawson. Thanks for watching.